Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to this meeting, our first town hall meeting with the Insight Meditation community of Bloomington-Normal. I want to welcome all of you. All of you. And so let us begin with just a brief meditation. Arriving together, maybe closing your eyes. And just coming right here into the body. Just showing up. And I welcome all of you. I welcome you to arrive here. I welcome you as you are. I welcome the good, the bad, the happy, the sad. I welcome your family, your friends, your ancestors. Allowing your whole self to arrive, bringing your whole self to this meeting, to this sangha, to be here with us. And continuing this process of arriving, not rushing, really being present for yourself and for others. And let us come back. So, I'd also like to welcome, in opening this meeting, the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. We honor homage to the Blessed One, the Perfect One, the Fully Enlightened One. In this Sangha, we look to the Buddha for inspiration as a manifestation of pure enlightenment. Something that we may see to strive towards, but someone that is a representation of who gave us these, shall we say, perfect teachings. And this is the Dhamma. We welcome the Dhamma. These teachings that the Buddha gave us that show us that there are truth in the ways in which we experience suffering as sentient beings. And by allowing these teachings of the Noble Eightfold Path, we strive to free ourselves from this very painful cycle of birth and death called samsara, and waking up to our true self, that which is one, to be eternal and deeply interconnected with all life. This is part of the meaning of letting the Dharma work with you, welcoming the Dharma here in this Sangha. And I also want to welcome the Sangha, those friends who are committed to practicing mindfully, living more mindfully. It is their company that helps us wake up, that helps us see how our nature is reflected out onto others. I also want to welcome my teachers, Jack Cornfield, Tara Brock, Nico Haza, Pema Chodron, and Thich Nhat Hanh. All of these teachers, I stand on their shoulders, and it is these teachers who their presence and their teachings have come to create the foundation of this Sangha. That is my opening. I'm going to drop in our meeting agenda here. Let me know if you can see it. Thank you. So, yeah, personal introductions. We can move forward. Before going forward, we'll just kind of see how the meeting goes. But with the content here, it could easily go into 90 minutes. You're always free to leave anytime. No explanation needed. Just hope you're well. So yeah, checking in with friends, maybe spending a minute to how you doing now? How's your day been? How's your practice been? Really coming together, being open, and yeah, huh. I can get us started in that. I set the intention this morning to sustain. Wonderful morning, waking up at early than we have been, waking up with my wife, having some personal time. And my intention was to sustain, to be able to sustain just those good energies and vibes. Really, what I'm looking for is how that one action sets in a cycle and direction for the rest of the day. And it's really cool. Sustaining because uh, I always am as a stay-at-home parent, but really met with some of these challenges that I'm looking at directly, seeing and identifying, and really sustaining myself through those. Um, yeah, and I was so excited about this meeting. I really had a hard time falling asleep, and so putting a lot into that today here, really just trying to sustain. So, thank you for letting me share.
I've been a little foggy today. Also looking forward to this meeting, but had a not a late night, but kind of a busy night with my daughter last night. We saw Hamlet as part of the Illinois Shakespeare Festival, and just environmentally a much different feeling than kind of sitting at home watching TV, being outside around all these people, the actors, lights. And so you get home and it's like you're still buzzing a little bit, from all that, from just the experience. So hard to fall asleep. Woke up a little early for some appointments, and so just kind of foggy, just uh, I don't know. I'm reminded of the movie Office Space. I kind of have a case of the Mondays, but really happy to be here and with you all. So yeah.
I can go next. I'm doing well. My day's been good. I feel like I've been very connected with my body because I was weed whacking in the backyard and sprayed myself with a whole bunch of poison oak. So my sitting is interesting because my legs are very active. It's okay. It's not bad or anything, but you notice it. And there's my first go around with calamine lotion, which is an exciting new product I've never used before. Um, Other than that, things have been good. Yeah.
I guess I've been pretty fortunate this week to get to practice something new, which is sitting with, I don't know the word for it, but ick or pain. That just because you surrender doesn't mean that things aren't going to be hard and you're not going to have some ick sometimes. And I think I kind of, when the ick arises in a panicked state, want to make the ick go away. But it was useful this week. It was really good to actually just sit with it and feel it and not judge it and just kind of let it be there.
The ick. That's a good one. Yeah, it like that covers a lot. The ick. I like it. All right. So let's jump in. This is gonna be fun. Fun, fun, fun. So, um, yeah, that would have been cool too. So, results of our survey. Thank you so much for all of your great feedback. So touching to read. Really good information I was able to collect, and here are some of the responses. So, in some of the writings, what's going well, what could go better. The group is developing some cohesion. Oh, wait, let me see if I can do this. Share. Are you able to see the text? Enough-ish, okay. Yeah, it feels like a truly safe space. We've hit a really nice groove. I enjoy hearing everyone's shares. I love the energy of welcoming and inclusive openness. I would like to have more conversation or interaction between Sangha members. A recommendation to put together information on our webpage introducing the Insight practice and what to expect at our meetings. A wonderful book recommendation, Good Citizens by Thich Nhat Hanh. Most people are reporting that they stay up to date with our community via the newsletter and website. And special interests of our members span anything from special interests exploring topics of engaged Buddhism, mental health, and neurodivergence. And so you may not be able to see this, but so what have you found to be valuable in our Sangha? The purple color is the greatest value. And so just looking at this is a summary of everyone's answers. So having guest teachers, one person was basically neutral. This is a compilation of 4 submissions. Most everyone was really, really excited about having a guest teacher. Feel free to interrupt me with questions at any time. Wednesday practice meeting, pretty much everyone was neutral. Guided meditations and Dharma talks by Ryan. Very high marks from everyone. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit later. Introduction to mindfulness class, neutral. In-day person in retreats. It looks like there could be some things in the way. So new opportunities. 4 is this green. In person, we're kind of getting mixed. That's classes and retreats. Taking turns leading, I'd say pretty much, except for one outlier. No go. Community. I'm not sure what that is. Let's see here. Doesn't really say here either. Community potluck. Neutral. Day-long half-person retreats. Affinity groups, quite a bit of interest. And a service day is quite a bit of interest as well. So, those are the results. Thank you again so much. Does anyone have any questions so far? Any comments? All right. And so I'm going to talk about 3 ways you can be a member in our community. First, I'm going to open up and talking about my role as the guiding teacher. Sit back, relax. It's going to be a bit of story time. I don't usually talk about myself that much. Unless asked, I'm a completely open book. But my personal story, it's not so important. But I think it's really important to know in order to see where all this came from. Where's Ryan's head at, right? And then furthermore, defining my role as a guiding teacher. So we'll get into that. So how did all of this come to be? I moved here to Bloomington-Normal, many, many years of extreme mental health issues related to complex PTSD, related to very domestic things that were not easily identifiable. Moving here, wanting to make influence, feeling stable in my life. I go to the Ecology Action Center, this wonderful nonprofit. I am in charge of landscaping and planting trees. Absolute best job in the world, best boss in the world. Wonderful. filled with anxiety, filled with dread. Just simply like the unexpected nature of scheduling and roles that you have to play working in a nonprofit kind of environment. When my season was done, I was like, I'm done. It made me really wake up and say, it doesn't matter where I'm at. These things that are in me are not going away. It's not going away. And so I was beat summer, whatever, just happened to see a Jack and Tara, week retreat online, took it. It was profound, profound Jack and Tara's teachings, if you've ever gotten into those. That led to a teacher training. The teacher training was really about really seeing this for what it is from the people who are, originally teaching it, but also this idea of being able to explain this to others. So coming in and forming this sangha, my goal really, or my drive was really, I was really lonely. Sit and sit and sit and sit and sit. And a lot of practitioners don't exactly like talk that much. There are a lot of groups where you show up and you sit and you say goodbye, and that's fine and good. But yeah, the community, the heart, that aspect. In preparation for this certification, I went to Insight Meditation Society for a silent in-person retreat, and I was completely blown away by my experience. And I had this epiphany of how easy this is to bring to other people when it's done in a mindful, respectful, well-trained way. And so that's where this comes from. We are just a few weeks over an entire year of having our community here. And I'm already looking towards 2026. And my goal is sustaining a healthy sangha. That's it. I can be in the background. This is not a Ryan thing. This is a sangha thing. And I'm just here to help make it work. And so that's where you guys really come in. This idea of, am I a community member? Am I a guiding teacher? What am I? And how are we governed, right? So far, it's kind of all been me. That's fine. This really brought up a lot of, philosophical introspection. I talked to my two mentors, Nico Haza, who long 40 years of practice. I won't get into it. Basically, his take is that from a perspective of my teacher training, on a personal level of morals and ethics, I need to clearly define my role as a teacher and have a very clear delineation of a teacher-student relationship. Then I talked to John Cunningham, our last guest teacher, and of course, he leaves me with something like a koan. It's just a little conversation here. It's like, I'm like, hey, I'm filling these roles now, I guess I'm the financier, I've been kind of paying for most of it, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing this. He's like, let me stop you. See all of this? Those are just stories. It's like, you're not a financier. I mean, you can call yourself that, but that's just something that you did, That's just something you did. It's like, what I'm curious about, where did that come from? What caused that to happen? This guy's playing chess in 4 dimensions. And ultimately what he says is, in doing this, if this is not my practice authentically, I'm headed to trouble. I'm headed to burnout. I'm headed to resentment. Be cautious. And so I have these two weighing things of you are the teacher and you are separate, but this is also very much your practice. What am I to do? What am I to do? So, in this role, I am defining myself as the guiding teacher, as the guiding teacher, I have a code of ethics in which I will present to you. We are running close on time. These ethics are based on the ethics the teachers at IMS take. It's based on the 5 precepts. I refrain from, I undertake the precept of non-harming, refraining from stealing, sexual misconduct, false speech, and intoxicants that cause heedlessness or loss of awareness. And that's kind of it. So, what does that mean? Does that mean we can't be friends? Does that mean I have to be guarded and closed? No, no. That's not part of my practice. How do we come together and really make a community? My practice in this is kind of, sorry, lost for words. Practicing in sangha is almost, I would see it as the only way. That we need each other. This community, that is part of the practice. And so how we can communicate with one another, how we can come together in sangha, I want to impress the importance upon these relationships. These relationships have been described as kalyana mita, spiritual friends. This term was kind of given by a great teacher, James Beres. And so, spiritual friends, the qualities of a spiritual friend. What kind of qualities would these relationships look like? You know, we're 2 sangha members, we're interacting together. The purpose of us together, there's always a forefront that we're there to help each other just live more mindfully. The qualities of those that we generate here as merit, those are the same things that are at the forefront of our intentions of being together in person, one-on-one. Our relationships don't have to be involved. I have no interest in being that involved in your life because I don't need to. That's peripheral. Us being together in a very mindful way, connecting on what is here, what is now, what is on the heart. These are things that continue to ring true. You feel good when you do it. You feel good when you're after, and you look back and there was no harm done. These are the Kalyana Mita friends that I encourage all of us to think about and adopting if we want to reach out to others outside of Sangha. So that said, as Sangha members, if you form a relationship outside of here, I would strongly prefer that any of those details, we went to a movie on Friday, that kind of stuff, just mindful that we limit that. Really, really mindful that there's never any sense of favoritism, any cool kid, anything like that. And that always leaves things open. So, any questions so far? Okay, all right, we're tracking. How are we doing? Yes, and so these ethical, this code of ethics, as a community member, you would be expected to aspire in following these precepts in your own way. You do not have to subscribe to being a Buddhist, but it is these precepts in which we can understand and explain these troubles and issues that we're having in a very Buddhist way. But it's also these precepts that I believe will support any person's, practice of mindfulness. So, yeah, I've got some more on Kalyana Mita. A lot of this stuff could, be separate discussions. There was a good amount of interest in affinity groups. I also identify as neurodivergent. And so this is a topic we can revisit as we grow in members. So getting into the types of our regular meetings. Currently we have a Sangha meeting and a practice meeting. this up for you guys. In our sangha meetings, we've currently been reading a book, but normally it would be a dharma talk, silent or guided practice, and brief discussion. In talking to John and sitting in with other sangha meetings, sometimes sangha meetings are not very social. The intent is you come to sangha to practice. The practice and learn. And part of the learning is listening and sharing. That's how we learn. So that is like the heart of sangha. I have always felt that there needs to be some kind of heartful discussion, connection, but not always. I love that if anyone's taking notes, that's great, because I'm going to pass this back to you guys as to what you want. So then we have a Dharma share meeting, meditation practice, some type of discussion topic, and then we would go around the circle with 2 opportunities to share what comes up. We could have a book club meeting. It's basically what we're doing right now. It would just be its own separate meeting. And then its own practice meeting, where we could just establish that it's always silent, it's briefly guided, but it has a consistent format. And usually what those are is a quick check-in. Hey, one word, how you doing? Cool, cool. Something that you're feeling for today. Da, da, da. All right, goodbye. And it keeps it light. A lot of these relationships, very light, very subtle, but when you're there, you're there. And so these practice meetings can be a great supplement for people that want to practice on a daily basis. There was a recommendation for an early meeting. I am totally happy with that. And talking with my wife, Margaret, she would really prefer for me to only run one evening meeting. But I would be happy to run another meeting, in the evening or another time. So looking forward, I'd be willing to run 2 meetings. Sangha meeting, as a guiding teacher, it's my obligation. The Dharma share meeting, I feel really needs to be moderated, so feel the need to be there. These other 2 could be member-led if need be. Any questions? And then, so types of irregular meetings, we have guest teachers, member speakers. It might be nice for members if they want to basically give, a short Dharma talk. It can be very simple if it's on your heart, something like gratitude. Just kind of hold that in your heart for a week and talk about whatever's there for you. And again, listening, speaking, learning. And then these town hall member planning meetings, when we can have those. Types of gatherings, the types of classes we could have, types of retreats, and things, just social gatherings like a potluck. Right now, the types of class, we're only offering the introduction class. I think I'm done. I've had 4 people register and attend all year. And they're great. I love them. But in defining this role as a guiding teacher, it would be wonderful if you felt compelled to ask me to research and do a class on mental health, something, then I could make a class and we could kind of present it. I would really enjoy that maybe being something that is slightly collaborative. Not that you're obligating yourself to it, but it's so much nicer to see just someone else's view on things. Like for me, I'm like half-day retreats, and you might be like, man, 2 hours sounds really good for this topic. So, if you do have ideas, I'm always open. The intention for the intro class was really hoping that I would get just a few each week, and that could greatly supplement the operation costs that we have monthly. So far, that is not doing the trick. Retreats. retreats. Last year we had an in-person retreat, loving kindness retreat at the Normandy Village, picturesque 1930s dorm campus, absolute fall, perfect fall beauty, perfect weather, potluck, great time. Deposit was, I think altogether it was like $300 something. So these types of things, if we wanted to put a deposit down on things, I would love to hold a retreat at my house, buying snacks, waters, different kinds of things. That would all kind of fall into that organization of retreats. I guess as the guiding teacher, I can come up with things and maybe get your approval. And then options for meeting times. I'm not necessarily married to Mondays at 7. Um, And so now I'm really opening it up to you guys. I do want to say, so I can see the analytics of the emails. The email that I sent announcing the town hall, when I look at these analytics, it's the same analytics I see for pretty much every newsletter. I get about 60% of the people on the newsletter opening it. That's about 25 people. That's it. There is show of interest because it is always being open and read. And so I'm confident that there is interest out there. But of anyone who's ever responded and been active of that call of sangha, it's you guys. You're it. After all this time, I would have expected anyone else on that mailing list to maybe show up or want to participate. No go yet. So moving forward, we could just look at it as this is the core group. I would love to expect that we would acquire, maybe 1 or 2 members would adopt us by the end of the year. And, I was told by someone, like, all it takes is that social butterfly that's got like 3 friends that's totally into the same thing, and things can really change. So, yeah, fun stuff on that. Boom. Operating costs. So these are operating costs currently. I was able to get this cost down a lot. Turns out when you try to cancel the subscription, they'll offer you a good deal. So all of this has been paid. You'll see what's coming up here. September 4th is our subscription for the website. It's $192 a year. I guess after the survey, the website, is proving to be good. I'm a big fan of the website. And so, yeah, just looking at these numbers, these are pretty much our main essential costs in order to operate. Based on the number of members per month, we're looking at this as a total. Can y'all see these numbers? Yeah, good. And so that would eat about this much a month. If we were to all contribute an equal number that is said over that amount, that would help cover these extra costs, for the classes and the retreats. Dana for guest teachers. I have connections to popular teachers. The way that works is they prefer to have Dana offered before. A lot of these teachers really request a lot, but for us, having Dana ready $100, $200, we could have some really phenomenal speakers. Not necessary, but having that kind of in our back pocket is pretty cool. Yeah. Current Dana given so far is $280. Thank you. Leaving $178 to cover our operating expenses for this year. Yeah, so Dana, to me personally, so in the Insight tradition, teachers are pretty much kind of the heart of it. There's a strong emphasis on honoring the teacher in a sense that the teacher is committing themselves to something that is true, something that is selfless, something that doesn't really, you know, there's nothing really in turn here. This is just pure out of goodness. What is the value of that? How could you show that person appreciation? The number of teachers I have just sat there and said, money doesn't equate. There is no dollar value for how much you have changed my life, right? Donna, it can be kind of weird. How could you show Donna to me personally if you feel moved? Help cover the operating costs. And Donna, to me, when you think about the practice, if you were to adopt it in a way that has the spirit of generosity, you will find Donna everywhere. And in this coming together of mindfulness, you see Donna everywhere. It's really beautiful. So, I don't know. That I'm pretty much done, but I got one last hoorah, and that this stuff is real. It is a funny little phrase I've kind of held on to, but I keep saying it. What we do here, these merits that we credit, all of these things, I would hope that you're actually seeing a noticeable difference in your life. Not so much just the practice alone, your faith in maybe, the Buddhist practice, but this coming together, this feeling support. There's really something special about it. So, yeah, and I guess that's where I would close, and that moving forward, I don't see anything changing immediately. We would be finishing up Thich Nhat Hanh's book around the beginning of November. I plan to have one more guest teacher to kind of break up part 2 and 3. I wouldn't necessarily, want to change anything about our meetings going forward in sangha, but I would really, really appreciate your input on directions as far as other meetings we could offer or ways that we could offer classes or fundraise. Yeah. So I'll open it up to you guys. And it doesn't have to be directed to me. Thank you for listening.
You can add some things or just some thoughts. I was trying to kind of keep track of thoughts as we were working through that, and because I don't know that I actually filled out this survey, so I'm so sorry about that. But I definitely appreciated everyone's comments and resonated a lot with what I read or what you read rather, and especially just like